So he'd be good at football, but I wanted to see if he would actually be allowed to play football according to the NFL rules. Or I guess not Spider-Man, but me as Spider-Man with Spider-Man's powers, would I be able to play football? So I looked at the official NFL rule book, and the first thing I focused on was his wall clinging sticky hand situation. I wanted to see if he's allowed to actually use it to catch footballs. So in the rulebook, they say that you're not allowed to have adhesives on your hands. So what is actually behind Spider-Man's sticky fingers? Is it considered an adhesive, and would it not be allowed? So according to the Marvel Wiki, they describe his ability to be sticky as he can mentally control the flux of interatomic attraction between molecular boundary layers. This overcomes the outer electron shell's normal behavior of mutual repulsion with other outer electron shells and permits the tremendous potential for electron attraction to prevail, which is a lot of chemistry words.
Jesus. That's not how spiders stick on the wall, though, right?
Well, sort of. So that's a little wordy of a way to describe it, but some people describe it as his ability to manipulate something called the van der Waals force. So what van der Waals force is, it's like a distance-dependent interaction between atoms and molecules. So it's a little different than ionic and covalent bonds, but it's sort of similar mechanism because it's like electrostatic forces between them. It's weaker than ionic and covalent bonds, but it is strong enough that animals can actually utilize it to climb smooth surfaces. So an example that I kept on seeing over and over again was geckos. Geckos use the van der Waals force to climb smooth walls. So with geckos, they have on their feet, they have these structures, they're hair-like structures called setae. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but that's what it looks like. And on the ends of these hair-like structures, they have even smaller structures called spatulae, which are on a microscopic scale. And they're so small that when they interact with surfaces, they have electrostatic attraction between the spatulae and the surface. And there's so many of them on the foot of this gecko that the strength of it actually is strong enough to hold the gecko onto the wall. So spiders, some spiders, I don't think it's all spiders, but some spiders have similar structures to these, and they use the van der Waals force as well to climb walls. And specifically for the van der Waals force, there's a study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences that looked at the relationship between the mass of an animal and the surface area required to be in contact for the van der Waals force to actually hold it up on a wall. And they found that the smaller you are, because of the way that surface area and volume scales up, the smaller you are, the less percentage of surface area needs to be in contact. So an ant, which is very small, an ant only needs 0.09% of its surface area to be in contact with a wall for it to work, for it to not fall off of the wall. A spider, which is a little bigger than an ant, but not much, needs 0.92% of its surface area to be in contact. Geckos need 4.3%, and if it were to work on a human needs 40% of its surface area to be in contact with a wall to not fall off. So, according to the real science, in order for Spider-Man to work, he would need to basically just press his whole body against a wall and then shimmy up. And technically it could work, but that's how it wouldn't just work with fingertips.
Yeah, and that's 40% surface area includes the area all around the body, right? So it's not only...
So I think it's basically just the entirety of your front, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to... And I think you would need to be slightly blobous to get 40% to be actually on the wall.
Yeah, I kind of assumed that you'd be able to get that much contact area. I don't actually know if you'd be able to, though. Because, obviously, your whole back can't be in contact with the wall, and you have the sides of you that...
But the sides of you aren't more than 20% of your surface area, right? I'm looking at myself now.
I don't know.
Well, it depends, because if you have your knee, whatever, how much of your knee all the way around is it actually touching the wall? You're rounded, so it's not more than 10% of your knee going around is going to be in touch with the wall.
Yeah, you need to have a lot of skin flap. toughness. You like a bony surface, you have a hard time getting all that skin to be in contact.
I think I could do it.
But I think you could do it. You just have to shimmy and really press up against it.
Yeah, paint a wall, Ben, and then just like smash yourself against it, and then we'll just add up the area of paint on you and divide it by your whole surface area.
Yeah. So obviously, Spider-Man doesn't do this. He does it with his fingertips and his toes. But like the description, so the 40% is assuming that's like a normal van der Waals strength force. So apparently, Spider-Man can like manipulate this mentally. So he can theoretically make the van der Waals force stronger than a normal van der Waals force, so he wouldn't necessarily need that 40%. So, I mean, that's the mechanics behind how Spider-Man can climb walls. The main takeaway for our purpose is that it's not an adhesive that is responsible for his stickiness. It's molecular interactions, apparently. So he would be allowed to use it in football. And it's not just his hands, it's like any part of his body. Any part of his skin he'd be able to use. Technically, in like the real science, you wouldn't be able to do this through clothes. But like Spider-Man, he wears a suit and he wears gloves on his hands, and it still works through his gloves. So I don't know. According to the movie logic, it would still be able to work through, like if you had a uniform on, you'd still be able to, basically if a football hit you anywhere on the body, he'd be able to make it stick to him. That was a clip from Absurd Hypotheticals, the podcast where I answer dumb hypothetical questions. For the full episode, click on the link in the description.